Right, this is going to be a quick tour of our quarantine area. So we make sure that everywhere is at least 5 metres from the main track horses. But this is great because they can still be on the track, they can see everything. And then once the horses come out of quarantine, so after they've done 3 weeks in this area, we can make these 5+ metre gaps smaller. We don't allow the horses to get nose to nose, otherwise I tend to find they tend to strike out and bring down the fencing, which is very time consuming, but they can get a lot closer to the horses. So this is one of our entrances down by the shelter. This is where we put the water. This is kind of as far away from the hay as we can get to try and sort of start the idea of track. They've got the back of the hill for a bit of shelter. This is why we don't like to quarantine or accept new horses in winter, because there isn't any specific shelter. We include a couple of hay feed boxes, so again they get the full kind of track experience. You'll have to excuse me, some of the fencing's down just because I've come in to feed for this morning. So again, we've got a 5 metre gap here. We've had to put a bottom line on my side because ponies were sneaking under the fencing and being cheeky. We've got the gravel pit here for sleeping on, because obviously without this gravel pit there wasn't anywhere nice and soft for the horses to sleep while they're in quarantine. So they have this area. And they've got a second hay feeder. So this is quite a nice walk away from the water, which is around that corner behind the horses. So they've got a good kind of distance of track to get used to walking on the surface and moving around, which is really good. And then this is our last exit point, again 5 metres away. So when we designed this cut through, it had to be in a very specific position so that we got 5 metres away from where my planned quarantine area was going to be, which is why it looks like it's kind of in a bit of a randomy place, a sort of a very small bit of grass where you can see Bertie is. But that's why that cut through was put in that place, because it was all carefully measured out. So yeah, this is our quarantine area for new horses that are coming onto the track. And this is why we only accept horses in spring and summer and try not to have any in winter. These two are a special exception. And yeah, it seems to work really well. Thank you very much.